Hi everyone. That certainly was an interesting episode. This is Bogdan here again with another one of Steve's interviews. This time, Steve was invited on the Telecom Reseller podcast hosted by Doug Green, and he had some unique insights and insider info on how the contact center market adapted during the pandemic. To hear more about NobelBiz and the products Steve talks about, go to nobelbiz.com. Now let's hear what he has to say.
Steve, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I look forward to sharing with you.
So today we're going to be talking about a topic I think that's going to be very important to a lot of our readers, how a call center carrier can help you increase customer interaction and reduce costs. And I'm going to be asking you about that in just a minute. But Steve, first, what is NobelBiz?
NobelBiz is a contact center carrier that also is a manufacturer of call center systems, originating years ago with the dialers that contact centers use, and today being an omni-channel type cloud-based system. So we are a software developer focused on contact center.
So let's define a few terms. What is a call center specific carrier? What is that?
Well, in the contact center space, much of what goes on is short duration minutes. There's a high volume of calling, and at the same time, that is not necessarily attractive to the common carrier out there. What we do, though, is we are a carrier. We're not a reseller. We're an actual carrier, and we control the outcome for the client. So we're able to accept the various types of traffic that they have. And then what we do being a software developer is we have added at the carrier level specific software tools that increase the ability for contact rates, which is really the outcome that call centers need. So it's a unique, not only look at their activity, but it's also a unique way through some of our patented software, like Local Touch, that allows the customer to make more money, make more contacts.
And how does that increase customer interaction?
Well, it just means that you're going to contact more people. So more through our software tools, more people are going to be answering the phone. So one of the original pieces that we developed were well thought of for is called Local Touch, where you're presenting local numbers versus 800 numbers or numbers from outside your area, no matter where you call. And so someone will see that number. They'll obviously have a higher rate of answering. Now, that in itself is not magic, but our tools, in addition to that, allow for those local numbers to rotate so that you today may get a call with a local number and not answer it. Later on, you'll get another call with a different number that, in that case, you may answer it. And that piece alone can increase pickups or contact rates by 35 to even more, a larger percent. So it's just a very basic thing. We ended up patenting it years ago and became known for it. But that's just one of many tools that we have.
And you also reduce costs.
Oh, yeah. Well, certainly contacts ensure that your costs are going to go down in relationship to your heavy burden of paying your carrier costs every month. So if you're increasing your contacts, your ROI is going to improve, just the nature of it. In addition, we have routing tools that allow for an example, inbound calls to come in and be routed, whether or not you're using a contact center system, just in a normal PBX, that allows for a lot more efficiency and getting to the right person all the time at the same cost as what other companies are paying just for carrier alone. So in other words, with us, you're getting all these tools at the same cost or less than what you're paying for carrier alone, singularly with other carriers. It's honestly a no-brainer to use this type of service. It's lower cost, higher value, more contact.
So yeah, let's dive into this a little bit. It sounds to me like you were saying before, you're offering much more than just the opportunity of mounting or taking a contact center into the cloud and offering it to distributed workforce. Could you explain to me what you mean by you created or create contact center technology? What does that mean?
Absolutely. So we, at a certain point in time, we went, recognizing we're a software developer specific to contact center, we began to develop our own CTI, our own contact center systems that connect obviously with the carrier, but then is your phone system itself. Initially your phone system. Today we call it Omni Plus, and it's a full omni-channel cloud-based system that allows for any media, any type of communication you want within any particular call to happen in a seamless way. So if you add today that we're a carrier with specific tools that promote contact at a low cost, and then you match it with really a very cutting edge or forward edge type of call center system that allows any type of channel into at any time that allows you to communicate, whether it's voice, other media, video, WhatsApp, it doesn't really matter. That becomes this holistic approach to helping a contact center, whether they're in a contact center or working in a remote state, as you're seeing during the pandemic.
So yeah, let's talk about real time. Is it true what I'm thinking that doing sort of a cloud-based contact center was not a majority position before this moment, and now all of a sudden it's the way to go?
Yeah, well, for us, our foundation is really in carrier and connectivity, and then it was just the recognition that we felt we could do it very well to give them the other part of the equation, which is that contact center system itself. And it's more recent in the last 5 years for us to bring that to market, but we also realized because we had the ability to not rush to market, that we could go forward edge and not only offer different media channels, not only offer an omni-channel experience, meaning a singular approach to how you want to communicate with any person, but an advanced way to report on it, to script to it, to connect it to clients' business softwares, and that was relatively recent, and now we're just really taking off because we're so connected on every level to the understanding of what contact center does.
You said earlier in our conversation that the success of NobelBiz has been in part about the development of unique technologies and so on, but also it seems that it's about the way you guys do business.
Yeah, I think it always should come down to that. Let's be honest. Technology and communication breaks from time to time. And there's just no perfection. And listen, I've been developing contact center technology for 25 years. And the seeking of perfection, although being sort of the mantra, it just doesn't happen. So what does that mean? That means that if you're a mission critical type of service or product, as we are, within an environment like a contact center where they have a high level of cost connected to hundreds to thousands of agents sitting there waiting to make that connection in an efficient way, and it breaks, meaning an agent can't log in, meaning you get echo on your call, meaning I can't transfer the call or I can't report on the activity. Any of those things can happen. And when they do, now what happens? At that point, you need to reach out to the company you're working with, us in this case, NobelBiz, and say, help, help, help. So really, everybody goes through this in the industry, 100%, but it's the company that connects the recognition of what a customer is going through and gets it handled immediately. So what we do is we put process in place, we put human beings in place, we put an embrace in place of welcoming those contacts and layer in many things that I just don't see any other company doing to make sure that we meet the basic outcome, which is we make a promise and we're going to keep that promise.
So, Steve, who are your customers?
Everybody in the contact center world. So we have some of the country, actually some of the world's largest department stores that use us either for the carrier side and or the contact center, cloud system, because they're getting great efficiencies. You'll see us well used in the collections, accounts receivable space because high volume, short duration calls are an issue. And then, of course, BPOs. BPOs have a special relationship with us because within a BPO environment, there's a wide range of differences in their campaigns and constancy of change. And they require systems that are as versatile as they are in their business. So we have clients as small as 25 agents, and we have clients as large as 9,000 agents all using the system. But one thing to know is we are well fit. We fit very well into the space of remote agents. So any contact center where they have agents spread out anywhere, either at home or just different offices around the world, they're going to get their best of us.
Now, do you guys have a partner program?
We do. We are a direct sales agent, and we have a partner program. And what you'll see with partner programs are really built on the fact that over many, many years, agents have developed unique relationships with the contact center to where they're trusted. They've been bringing in carrier services for a long time, bringing in technology. They're a trusted consult for call centers, because as much as contact centers use this type of technology and carrier, they're not experts in it. They're experts in how to do something with that connection when they make it. So oftentimes you'll see this to where they're just trusting that agent. And because of that, the agents work with us and bring in really in kind of sitting in the middle to protect the client and frankly to protect us too, to make sure that good communication happens, best pricing happens, best outcomes occur. And that's our agent program. And it's high income for agents, and at the same time, it's good business for us. And it doesn't really infringe upon our direct sales because there's sort of different approaches. You're either using an agent or you're wanting to purchase directly.
Now, it also sounds like you sell directly to end users.
We do. And we love that, of course, because at that level, we have the most intimate relationship with the customer. And we're able to work in a deep, deep level with the client to understand their model, their changing model. And you'll see this during the pandemic. There are changes all around in terms of how do they convert from outbound to inbound? How do they convert to off-site versus on-site? how do they stay in touch and manage their people when they're not looking at them in their own office? All of those things really kind of are centered on the model of direct sales, because in a direct model, you're in it. You're really that direct partner with the client. So we have a lot of success. I would say 70% of our business comes from direct approach to the market, as well as about 30% from the channel area. I think that's a good mix too.
You know, I mentioned earlier in the podcast that the crisis may have changed the way a lot of companies did. Of course, indeed it did, especially in contact center. Everyone had to go distributed. Did you experience change during the course of the crisis?
Huge change and immediate change. So back in March, what we saw, and we see this, right, because we're, as a carrier side, we're getting all of the activity, and you saw an immediate decline in outbound calling, just a precipitous drop off, and at the same time, there was a balancing that came about 6 weeks later, to where you could see that drop stabilize and a literal increase of the inbound traffic. So in truth, today, some months later, our inbound traffic is at its highest levels it's ever been, and our outbound traffic is at the levels that it was a year ago. So in truth, our volume now is actually up with the same group of clients. And what to me that says is really the agility of a contact center. Imagine this, taking your business overnight and shifting it. You know, inbound business has always been attractive to most contact centers, but it's highly competitive, and you have to be very good at it to optimize those phone calls. And it's competitive, and not everybody gets it. It's one of the reasons you'll see a lot of outbound traffic. And suddenly you see these same contact centers that have been doing outbound converting to inbound so quickly. I just admire the heck out of them, to tell you the truth. I will also say this, that it's been a time where people are taking the time to look at technology, to look at their infrastructure and their environment, whether they have been going to a remote approach or staying within their environment. But they're looking at things now, and they're not only looking at cost, but they're looking at are they using what they need to be using. And so we're getting a high level of demonstrations of our call center technology right now, a lot of interest in how we can transition people to our carrier system at a cost savings to people. They're looking a lot. I would tell you that our pipeline is very, very full, maybe as full as it's ever been. At the same time, people are deliberately now making decisions before they agree to something new. In other words, people today are not yet ready in mass to buy new things, but they're ready to look at new things. And then you're seeing for us a trickling of steady but deliberate growth. So the last thing I would focus on during the pandemic is it's obvious that many contact centers quickly had to get home. They can do that with our technology. They can do it with most of the industry's technology. But the question which will be hanging out there is, will they continue to stay at home, or will they find a way to get back to their hardened sites, or will there be a hybrid? And those are the questions that I think we don't know the answer we'll be looking at. Everybody should be looking at as the future unfolds.
Well, Steve, I think those are the questions really going forward. And with that, I want to thank you for joining me today and giving us a very interesting overview of NobelBiz, and also a really interesting approach to running the contact center. I think a very contemporary one at that. Where can we learn more? Oh, you're welcome. And I look forward to doing this in the future. I think we've got more news to talk about for NobelBiz. But for now, where can we learn more?
Well, www.nobelbiz, NOBELBIZ.com. And look for us on, as well as Facebook and LinkedIn. We're constantly out there on LinkedIn with a number of knowledge pieces to just help people be ensured that they're making good decisions.
Well, we'll look forward to learning more about NobelBiz. And for now, thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it.
If you like what you heard, you can find the Telecom Reseller podcast on any podcast app. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.